Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this collaborative information session about internship opportunities and job opportunities available at the Southwest Research Institute, which is located in San Antonio. We have several speakers here today on the call. But before we do, let me just introduce myself. I'm Jayshree Bhatt. I serve as the Assistant Vice President for the Office of Professional Education and Workforce Development. And this is, it's our pleasure to collaborate with Career Center to hold this info session today. The main idea behind this collaboration is that we want companies like SwRI to know that our students are fully prepped for any internship opportunities that might be available at their industries or their companies, at their locations. The way it works is Career Center creates these opportunities for students, and my office uses LinkedIn Learning as the platform that is given access to students so that they can gain the industry-specific soft skills and technical skills that are needed for them to succeed in their internship or their first job after the graduation. Jake, if you could just please display the link to the LinkedIn Learning portal that we have created on our website, please. And while he's doing that, we can display that a little later as well. So at this point, I will turn it over to the speakers that are on the call right now. And we'll start off with a couple of student leaders that are going to be talking about their student organizations. And then we'll move on to Southwest Research Institute members that will talk about all the various internship opportunities that are available from their company. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Arce. I'm the president of the Society of Women Engineers, and I would like to give a quick introduction of what is the Society of Women Engineers. Our organization is focused on supporting women to achieve their goals inside engineering and to become a really good leaders. Also, our organization promotes the inclusion of women inside engineering, and anyone, it's not only for women, anyone who support women in engineering can be able to join us and to become a member, either a member or an officer. Also, our organization helps out with resume workshop, LinkedIn workshops, conference preparation, mock interviews, and we also create many socials. A few weeks ago, we went to Houston, and in order to be having successful results, we really support our students so they can be prepared and go to the conference. And there in the pictures, you can see that's pictures from the conference that we attend in Houston. There were more than 130 attendees on that conference from UTRGV. So it's a really good opportunity to be inside Society of Women Engineers. We offer a lot of support, and also we give you the enough tools to be prepared for conferences and to know how to talk with recruiters and get internships. So right now in this event, I think it's a really good opportunity for all the students to be hearing this info session, and looking forward to see successful results. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Juan Casanova, and I'm the president of the Rocket Launchers at UTRGV for 2022 to 2023. We're a nonprofit organization based here at the university, and we're open to all majors. So we can go to the next slide, please. So the organization offers a lot of opportunities for students who want experience and they want to engage in engaging in like teamwork and applying their course knowledge into an actual project. This offers that for them. So you get to collaborate, meet a lot of new people, and you get experience. And a lot of people they enter without any knowledge of rocketry, but it provides a lot. You have people who enter with computer science backgrounds, computer engineering, and mechanical engineering, and there's a place for everybody. The whole rocket in of itself is a system engineered project, so it's collaboration between multiple groups with different backgrounds, and it allows exposure to work on various projects. So we compete in Spaceport America Cup that is hosted annually in New Mexico, and yeah, this is an opportunity for many students. If you would like to get involved, we are open and to accepting members. So feel free to join us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we have Rachel speaking on behalf of Southwest Research Institute. She's got a presentation. She's going to share information about internship specific to certain fields. Welcome, Rachel. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Jake. So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rachel Pelayo, and I have had the honor of working at Southwest Research Institute for almost 11 years now. My role as a recruiter on the team is helping students find positions they are passionate about and that they would excel in, and also collaborating with students on ways that they can join our team and kind of helping them throughout the whole process, full cycle. So I'd love to hear from every student on the call, or maybe students that watch this after. My personal contact information will be sent out to everyone interested in joining our team, and I would certainly be happy to walk you through each step on how to join the SwRI family. So I actually started off here at SwRI as a student program coordinator. It's a program that I hold near and dear to my heart, and I am so excited to be able to share how special and unique this program truly is. The Vice President of HR, Mr. Tony Magaro, will be joining us in just a few moments. What he'll do is provide an overview of the organization, what makes us tick, who we are, what makes us so rare, and why you should join our team, and also other important elements to the SwRI family. I know after you hear from him, you'll have an authentic preview of what it would be like to join this very amazing organization. So once again, thank you for having me, and I'd like to thank all the coordinators for working this together. And let's go ahead and go to the next slide and get started. Okay, so looking at this, it's a lot of different technical spaces and concepts, and that's truly what the Institute is all about. Our president likes to say deep sea to deep space and everything in between. When you hear from my VP, Mr. Tony Magaro, you'll understand the incredible breadth and scope that we have here at the Institute. The work that we do has a consistent tone of being innovative and benefiting the world. In all of the sectors shown on this slide, we have internships. So we actually have positions here in each different technology that you see. And I've seen students thrive in all the different technical divisions and support areas. So most of these areas you'll see are technical in nature, but I do want to point out that groups like human resources, legal, accounting, we have internships for everyone. So if you resonate with our mission, which is to give back to the world, and you're a student looking for an internship, SwRI should definitely be your home for this summer, and then maybe even permanently. So currently right now, we have about 40-ish student positions. They're all found on our careers website, and I'm here to assist you with the application process and really understanding how to join one of the groups and one of these teams. I think one of the best things about the Institute, and one of my favorite things about working here, is learning from the interns and also full-time staff. No day is the same. They really emphasize that their careers here have gone by like that. I can certainly speak to that when they're in their internship program, they are doing something different every day. So let's say even if you're placed in an engineering role as an engineering student, you get to experience areas like software and other applications that maybe you would never get a chance to be exposed to in class or other organizations. We have a multidisciplinary approach to solve these super complex problems, which allows you to work alongside subject matter experts in a plethora of fields. So it's very similar to a senior design setting in that you're given this incredibly challenging and unique problem, and you're working with your team to solve that problem. What's really cool is you can be working with all different types of majors and all different types of students from different universities. And you walk away with very tangible skills in multiple areas, and you're absorbing this knowledge and some skills that you may not get in a traditional internship. So I just want to be very emphatic about how beneficial and advantageous it is for you to join an internship with us, because you get to be involved in all of these different areas that are shown on this slide. So I mentioned that our support groups like HR and legal have internships. Anyone who is interested in joining our team should engage me on learning how they can support the mission in the divisions. You know, there truly is not a place like the Institute, and I can't wait for y'all to hear from Mr. Magaro about how we started and how we've grown and all of our different technical areas. And I think that's why some students may not grasp really what we do just by simply seeing a brief explanation on our website or at a career fair. So that's why I'm so glad you're here today, because you get a really special explanation of what this organization is all about. Next slide, please. Thank you. So we're located in the beautiful city of San Antonio, Texas, and we have several offsite locations as well. And each of those offsite locations, they host interns. So if you're ever interested in maybe an area outside of San Antonio, you could work with me on identifying positions. And our careers website is very intuitive on being able to sort by location. So on our campus, and we call it a campus because it's truly like a little mini city. It offers the ability to be very lab-centric in your internship, which is why we don't have remote internships. I do get that question a lot. You know, the beauty of the Institute is coming together and collaborating and coming up with these ideas and resolutions together in the labs. And our state-of-the-art facilities really facilitate that. We even have an autonomous vehicle test track. Every time I drive into work, I see it, and our interns get to ride around in the autonomous vehicles, and it's kind of like a simulation area for testing out the technology. On the other side of campus, we have another area where the autonomous vehicles are testing perception and path planning. There's even a barbecue pit outside where division leadership cooks for the team as they're testing out the tech. On our campus, there's multiple amenities, and I'm going to show you a picture of our campus so that you truly can understand what it's like to work here. The offsite locations that I mentioned earlier, like Ann Arbor, Oklahoma City, Warner Robins, Georgia, Dayton, Ohio, Boulder, Colorado, they also have interns, and those interns work together with those down here at our HQ. So everyone, even if they're not at San Antonio, we're all one big family, all working towards one mission of giving back to the world. And we're really looking for students who also have that same intrinsic philanthropic desire to, you know, give back to humanity. Our culture, and you'll learn about our core values from my VP in a little bit, our culture truly embraces and demands continuous learning. You know, it's really the only way we can maintain our competitive edge and always be pursuing tomorrow's technology. And that's why our organization offers our full-time staff. So if I have any new grads out in the audience or someone who's about to graduate or even alum, our full-time opportunities, you can work with me on that as well. You can return to school while working here, and SwRI will sponsor your education. So we have a very robust continuous learning culture out here and a tuition reimbursement program that if you want specific details on, please feel free to reach out to me. So continuous learning doesn't just happen in the shape of the tuition reimbursement program. As an intern, you are offered seminars on campus, specific training for the unique tech that we pursue, and, you know, simply by absorbing it like a sponge, knowledge from the hands-on experience that you are getting as an intern at the Institute. We've also designed and developed a specific training program for our interns that they go through towards the middle of the summer. I really don't know where else an intern would be able to learn about what are your rights as an employee and what do you do if you feel that maybe that right isn't being protected. At the Institute, we want to make sure we educate all of our interns on how to thrive in this environment and why our campus is so safe and what to do if you have questions on that. So most of our interns have never worked anywhere else before, and this is a great way to learn, as someone in the industry, what do you do if you have questions about maybe something unsafe in the workplace or different HR laws. So it's about an hour, and we do serve food, and that's just one of the ways that we show how much we appreciate our interns and how much we care about them. Our interns also get to participate in our intramural sports. We have a long list of clubs and sports out here. It gets pretty competitive, but it's a lot of fun. And we have volleyball, soccer, basketball, frisbee golf, and softball, where you can join a team. They have leagues, they have tournaments. You can bring your friends and family, and people just kind of come together after work to have fun and be together, which is what we're definitely all about. We really have a familial culture out here. And our fitness complex is open to our interns as well. It's a beautiful facility with trainers and nutritional experts. It's completely complimentary. We have a lot of fun events throughout the year that are ran through this fitness center and our wellness program. We actually just did a turkey trot, which was a lot of fun. You can see pictures of that if you follow us on Facebook or Instagram of the staff running and walking together to celebrate the holidays. And then another really cool thing that we do is every annual Pie Day, people run 3.14 miles or walk, and then afterwards you get to eat pie. So I really can't think of anything better than that. We also have a cafe on site that's open for breakfast and lunch, and they serve you free Starbucks coffees on Mondays because Mondays are tough, and we want to make it easy on our staff when they're coming in after a really good weekend. We also have a rare art exhibit called the Archives, and it's a really neat place to walk through because it gives you the history and the traditions of the Institute. And when we first started, our founder and what the projects were back then considered very novel, and it shows you this really awesome timeline of, okay, in this decade, this division was developed and formed, and we started pursuing fire testing technology, and then we started pursuing space science. So on one side, there's kind of like this technical timeline. And then on the other side, there's rare art like Picasso's. Actual real Picasso's are on our campus. And it just makes you feel like it gives you this feeling of, wow, this is a really, really special place to work. So you get the best of both worlds, art and tech. Our interns get to work on internal research programs as well. I think one of the most unique things about the Institute is that we allow our employees to be creative and have a creative outlet through this internal research program, where staff who want to get back to the world, they're still going home and thinking about engineering and science and how can they help someone else out in the world. They can submit a proposal. Every year in April is the deadline, and that proposal, if approved, can be funded. And last year we gave over $8 million to our staff to come up with their own ideas that would essentially help someone and benefit and push forward technology. So there are several examples of the internal research program projects that interns have been a part of and that they've been able to present at the end of the summer during Student Presentation Day. We had an automated hormone receptor breast cancer classification using neural networks. And we had interns on that program to help pathologists find cancerous cells quicker. Another example of an internal research program that we've had out here is our heavy duty diesel engine research. And that was to help reduce harmful emissions such as soot. We also work very closely with autonomous platforms and autonomy-related objectives when it comes to our internal research program. So as an intern, you get to work on all that cool stuff with us and have the mindset of wanting to always push forward technology to benefit humanity. I mentioned our wellness program very briefly earlier. The wellness program is very beneficial to anyone who is interested in any form of wellness. So mental wellness. I'm sorry, it looks like I have a question. No, I don't need to go to the next slide quite yet. Thank you, though. wellness topics that are incredibly important to anyone, the wellness program offers those for free. And we also have an employee assistance program that offers 8 free counseling sessions for our employees and our interns. So if you're going through a tough time, because life happens and life can be hard, we have a program where you can talk to someone for free and try to work through those really tough challenges that you may be facing. So at the Institute, our leadership truly cares that we are whole mentally and physically. And I think it's not that common to work at an organization with that type of mindset and such an open door policy where interns are treated as any other staff member. We give them very significant pieces of the project. You're working on meaningful projects where you can see it put into real life in the real world and understand how is your summer going to help someone else. So when you think about that, how do you want to spend your summer? If you want to spend it working on technology that benefits someone else in the world, the Institute is the place for you. We also have a really rigorous diversity and inclusion program. It is facilitated in collaboration with our leadership and our DEI specialist. There are multiple events throughout the year to celebrate and embrace our differences. We all come from different walks of life, different backgrounds, different ways of thinking, which makes us so great. And in essence, that's what we're all about. Everyone can feel safe bringing their most true sense of self to work. And we really wouldn't be able to solve these super complex problems without thinking differently, without being different, without having different life experiences. So that's one of the things I think I'm most proud of is the DEI program out here and all the work that those involved in the DEI program have contributed to. So now you can go to the next slide. Thank you. So now that I've kind of covered what makes us so amazing, the student program is a program I think that all interns can walk away from and grow and be a better engineer or computer scientist or whatever you're doing down here at the Institute. You're walking away with such growth and advancement. It's not uncommon that students come back full-time or even their next summer if they're still in school. So I kind of wanted to dive into the specifics, the nitty-gritty of the internship program and why it's so advantageous for a student to join the program. So first thing, you're moving to a new city. Where do you live? What do you do to find a home? Those that do not have a parent or a guardian 50 miles within San Antonio are eligible for housing assistance. So we provide assistance and we reevaluate it every summer to make sure we are catering to the students' needs, to their safety, to their desires when it comes to housing. We also support the trip to San Antonio at the beginning of the summer. So helping you get to San Antonio at the beginning of the summer and then back home at the end of the summer. A very common theme that you've heard throughout this presentation is the technical scope and the diverse portfolio we have as an organization. It is, deep sea to deep space, everything in between and anything that you can think of. We have over 4,000 projects a year. And we feel it's really imperative for a student to be exposed and hear all of those different areas and to grasp that. We facilitate weekly technical luncheons for our interns. They're a lot of fun because obviously we offer lunch to everybody and it's a great way to end the week. We're all coming together to hear a technical presentation in a big auditorium because sometimes there's anywhere from 80 to 100 interns a summer. They're able to hear from leaders in the technical division and also those that have sat in their shoes before. We've had a lot of presenters during the weekly technical luncheons who were once interns, and they can kind of give you some perspective on what it's like to convert to full-time. We also have a converter panel. It's what we call the Converter Panel Luncheon, and it's where a group of individuals who once started off as interns and now they've grown into full-time employees with us, they give you tips on what it's like to completely move to a new city and that transition from being a student to full-time, and what guidance do they want to give to the students as far as having that dialogue with their manager about wanting to come on board full-time. So we offer a lot of insight for our interns and a lot of networking opportunities as well. The interns also get to interact with the speakers before the actual presentation begins. So they have kind of like an informal social lunch. And I don't know of another organization where you could sit across a vice president or a director of a division and casually have lunch with them and talk to them about what they love to do at the Institute and their favorite technology and where they see the future of their division going. So it's incredibly interactive. And like I said, it's actually a lot of fun. At the end of the summer, we have a student presentation day, and this is an excellent channel and avenue for students to be able to express what they've learned. They get to introduce themselves and talk a little bit about where they come from and the school that they go to, and it's great to see the students be so proud of their university. But then when they start talking about the tech that they contributed to, they light up and they express all they've learned. They share with the audience, which the entire institute is invited. You know, their division leadership, all their fellow interns, they're all cheering them on during the presentation. But I love it because I get to hear about new technologies and see the students really shine when they're talking about what they've contributed and what they've done over the summer. And it also gives them an opportunity to showcase their skills and their speaking abilities. So it's kind of like another way for you to show the organization that you're really passionate about what you do, and that if you are interested in full-time employment with us, that we should definitely consider bringing you on board. You know, the interns at SwRI have a structured program, but also there's so much flexibility built into it. It really is the best of both worlds, because I've seen students start off as juniors, return the next summer if they plan on continuing their education and grow in their titles and responsibilities, and even as a person, because when you see the core values for Mr. Magaro, you'll understand how being here at the Institute helps you be the best version of yourself. We have a defined career ladder for students. And they can convert into full-time. I've said that a few times, but I want to make sure that you know, coming in as an intern, you have a great opportunity to have a lifelong career with us and even become a manager or a leader, or start your own internal research program. All your hard work and dedication here at the Institute, you can really drive your own career here. So I really want to emphasize that to you all. And then our internships, in my opinion, and I know I'm a little bit biased, but they're so different from other internships that you would find at other companies, because you're given a chance to be in the labs most of the day and walk away with skills that will be directly applied to your career. You're not just given meaningless and miscellaneous tasks. You're treated just like another team member. Our expectations are pretty high for our interns. But we have this open door policy where if you walk down the hall in a building or a lab, the doors are open, people are collaborating with each other. So not only are the interns given significant pieces of the project, but they're given people that will mentor them and guide them and really help them succeed. So I think that it's a really special place that interns can come back different summers, different titles, and really grow and then come on board full time. Next slide, please. Thank you. So the background of this slide, it's a picture of us. And when I say us, not me, but our Intelligent Systems Division, they pursue AI and autonomy related projects. We are here at the AI and Autonomy Ground and Air Platforms Conference. So if students out there, if you love robotics, autonomy, drones, there are so many positions at the Institute, along with all the other technical spaces that we have a footprint in. But as a SwRI employee, you get the opportunity to showcase your tech and network with other professionals, go to conferences, present at seminars. If anyone out there is interested in publications or pursuing their own internal research, then this is certainly the organization for you, where you get to pursue your own desires and technical areas of interest. So I have a long list here that I'm not going to read off for time's sake, but this is not an all-inclusive list, but our interns get to work on all these really cool projects. So I'll let you take that in for a moment, that we have openings in all these different areas. And during the student presentation day that I mentioned a little bit earlier on the last slide, I've seen students present on all these different topics. And I think that's why it's one of my favorite events, because it's so interesting. And the students get to talk about some of the world's most innovative technology that they're doing right here on campus. in our organization. So it really, when you're an intern and you're in the student presentation day and you're seeing your colleague and your fellow intern that you've made friends with, or your roommate, talk about doing some of these technologies shown on this slide, it really makes you proud to be part of the internship program in this organization. Next slide, please. Thank you. So I don't know how interactive this is or if anyone can respond to me, but has anyone visited our city, the beautiful city of San Antonio? Well, I don't know if someone can jump in or not, but I'll just go ahead. I love sharing our culture and history with students who are not familiar with the area. You know, don't forget, we offer the housing. So if you're brand new to the city, I know it can be intimidating, but you have someone there to help you along the way. We have an intern coordinator, and she specifically works directly with the interns on their questions in San Antonio. You know, what it's like to live there, what is there to do. So we have a beautiful city, a very large city, lots of fun things to do, very rich traditions like annual festivals. We have a big festival called Fiesta. We have so many hiking trails if there are outdoorsy people out in the audience. We have over 20 different parks. We have places in the surrounding area like New Braunfels, which is where I'm from. If you ever wanted to float the river or, you know, visit the smaller towns around San Antonio, I'm happy to be your small town POC. We also have a very rich art scene. We have a beautiful museum called the McNay Art Museum. It's stunning. We have one of the best farmers markets in the nation at the Pearl Brewery. They have really fun things to do during the day. They have a great nightlife. So in the background, this is a picture of us volunteering in the city to show youth robotics and what you can do with a STEM career. So if you're wanting to be part of an organization that really gives back to the community, and one of our core values is stewardship that you'll hear from Tony later, if you have a desire to work at an organization that is passionate about outreach, that allows you to give back and go to local schools and say, this is what you can do as an engineer or scientist. This is what you can do at Southwest Research Institute. You can make an impact. You can learn these things. You know, this organization is the place for you, because you'll get to participate in events like this and show a student who maybe knows nothing about STEM or doesn't even know what a computer scientist does. Our staff is so great about being passionate about showing these kids what you can do at the Institute. So I think it's a great way to give back. And if you have that philanthropic desire to make a difference in someone's life, we have different platforms for that. We're involved in Big Brothers Big Sisters. We have a huge volunteerism spirit out here at the Institute, Habitat for Humanity, the food bank. Our interns get to participate in our intern volunteer night. And that is where everyone comes together as a group and gives back to the city by boxing up food for a few hours. It's another way to connect with your new home for the summer and hopefully your potential home after graduation. So this city, San Antonio, and this organization, we're all about giving back to each other and being there for each other. And we're looking for students that have that same type of mentality. Next slide, please. Okay, so there's some external links on this slide that I'm hoping work. They show examples of projects that students have been a part of. So I wanted to show you just a few minute videos on how we're helping wrong way driving deaths. Here at SwRI, we're working on technologies that combat this growing problem of wrong way driving. And this is just one of the many examples of projects that our interns can be a part of. And when they walk away at the end of the summer, they know that they will have made a difference in the community, in someone else's life, in this technology that is really designed to better the world. So Jake, since you have control of my slides, do you think that you could try to click on the link, the wrong way driving video link, to see if it works? Yes, thank you, Jake. Fingers crossed. it's not working, I am happy to send out the links to anyone who's here on the call. The videos aren't loading. Okay. Well, what the videos do is highlight some of our internal research that our engineers and scientists, and I know I mentioned the internal research program before, they went home at night and they were thinking about how to make a difference, how to challenge this growing problem in the country of wrong way driving. And it just really shows you the mission of the Institute. And I would love for you all to see this video because I think it would really resonate with you and provide a very rewarding end to my presentation. But I'll send out the links again, and hopefully you all will be able to watch them. You should certainly follow us on our YouTube channel because you'll see hundreds of videos about how our engineers and scientists make a difference in this world. And you will want to join the team after watching these videos. I just know it. So since none of the videos are working, we can go ahead and progress to the next slide. Thank you. Okay, so I've been talking about our campus, and this shows you kind of an aerial photo of our campus and where as an intern you get to spend your week. It is very reminiscent of a college campus. You know, we're not just a family, we're kind of like our own little mini city out here. And I know that most people, when they drive past us, they don't know how expansive we are. But once you drive in, your breath is just taken away by these facilities and beautiful deer. There's so many deer right outside my campus. That's why you always have to drive slow. But on our campus, you'll see groups of people walking together. They're having walking meetings, talking about how to solve this problem, or maybe an internal research program idea. They're in the cafeteria coming up with ideas, or they're in their intramural band club playing music in the cafe, or you'll see the running club or the bikers club. It really starts to feel like home. I remember when I first started, just after a few weeks, everyone was waving and saying hello. This is such a warm and welcoming environment that you start to feel like you're right where you need to be just within a few weeks of your internship. So I did want to show you all the different places that the interns could be. And I think this slide does a great job of pointing out where the interns get to spend their time. I mentioned our library already and our rare book exhibit that's shown right here on this slide. You'll get to see our fitness center and where you could get lunch and all the different facilities in the autonomous vehicle track. So hopefully this won't be just a photo to you all towards the summer. Hopefully I'll actually see you walking on these roads. But I would certainly love for you to apply and work with me on getting you down here. And I have my last slide coming up, so thank you for going to the next slide for me. Okay, so after my presentation and after you hear from Mr. Tony Magaro, I'm absolutely certain you'll want to join our internship program. And I just wanted to emphasize and provide you with the right guidance and insight on how to do that. So how can you join our very special family? You know, the application process is truly the genesis of being pushed forward to the technical divisions, and I am here to help you. My personal contact information can certainly be sent out. I'd love to interact and collaborate with you all. And when you get to the careers website, what do you do? How do you set up a profile? Should you apply as a guest, or should you register with a username and password? So everyone has their own specific circumstances, and I'm happy to walk you through each step of that. We are also incredibly present on different social media platforms. Please connect with me on LinkedIn. I share information about the city, information about the organization, information about our job opportunities. So it's a great channel for you to get an understanding of the internships and careers that we have at the Institute. And if you follow our Southwest Research Institute LinkedIn page, you'll get a real life perspective and version of the day in the life of the Institute. I mentioned our turkey trot earlier. On our LinkedIn page, you can actually see the groups of our staff running together on campus. Everybody's smiling. Well, most of them are smiling. And if you follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, you'll get to see not just the technical projects, which is pretty cool stuff, right? You'll also get to see all of the events that we have on our campus. We have our annual picnic coming up at a huge theme park in San Antonio. And hopefully next year, the new grads and alumni out there will be joining us, and I'll see you at one of the theme parks. But our interns also get to participate in all the events that we have out here during the summer to bring everyone together. So I know I've said that a few times, that really, in essence, the beauty of the Institute is that we are together as an organization, pursuing our mission, helping our clients, serving a purpose that's bigger than us. And I think that's really special to work at a place where you feel like you're making an impact in the world. We also have a podcast and a robotics blog. So for everyone that finds robotics interesting, you can sign up for our blog. Right here is a picture of one of our, I would say, coolest projects related to our Intelligent Systems division. And if you sign up, you can actually see what this little gizmo is doing. A big thing for us during the interview and during the time that you'll spend with the divisions during the interview is, do you have the intrinsic desire to give back to the world? Do you want to work on interesting projects? Do you want to collaborate in a team? Do you want to pursue your own ideas through internal research? So if all of those ring true to you and what's important to you, I think you'll ace the interview and that you'd be a great fit here at the Institute. So I don't know if this is open for questions, but if anyone has questions for me, as the college coordinator, I am here to help. After, at any time, reach out to me. Jake, are there questions for me, or anyone need help with anything?
At the moment, I don't see any questions just yet, but if there's any questions coming about, we'll go ahead and we'll let you know.
Well, thank you so much for spending your afternoon with me, and I'd love to hear from you all afterwards. It's been such a pleasure, and hopefully I'll see you in San Antonio.
Rachel, we have one question coming in.
Yes. Okay, great. I'm excited. What's the question?
The question is, what are some essential qualities for successful interns?
Oh, wow. What a great question. Thank you for asking. So I definitely think that after you hear from the core values that we have at the Institute, if those align with your own personal mission, if those overlap with your qualities and what you're looking for in a leader, those are very important things. Each job description has its own specific requirements. So if we're speaking about technical skills and qualifications, the job description does an exceptional job of providing you an understanding of, will I be able to succeed in this internship? Now, maybe soft skills that we're looking for that are kind of across the board. We need you to be supportive, kind, inclusive, respectful, want to get back to the mission, want to be in San Antonio or on one of the offsite locations. I think that, sorry, did I go away, Jake? Jake?
No, you're still here.
Okay, so my screen went black. I'm sorry if anyone sees a black screen, but some essential qualities are the ones that I just listed off. And of course, wanting to pursue innovative technology to benefit the world.
Great. We also have another question. They're wanting to know, what is the best way to reach out to you if they have any questions later?
Oh, definitely my email. My email would be the best way to reach out to me. Please contact me at any time. I'm happy to help. I'd like for my email to be sent out to everyone or anyone. Is there somewhere I can put it in the chat so someone can see?
Yes, I can go ahead and I can put it on the chat, Rachel, for everyone.
That'd be great. Thank you. Yes, everybody email me. I'd love to hear from you. So any questions that you may have, please feel free to work with me and collaborate with me on that.
And I believe that is all the questions we have at the moment. But if we have any for later, I'll definitely let you know before we end the session.
Great. And thank you for your questions. And I see my VP here who's going to give the overview. So thank you again, Jake, and thank you for all that facilitated this event. And I hope to hear from you soon.
Yeah, just to add, can you all hear me? Yes, just to add, those people who are on the chat, you may want to save her email address somewhere else, because once this live ends, those chat sessions or those chats will not be visible to people who watch YouTube. This recorded video later on YouTube. So just make a note and copy her email and save it somewhere if you want to get a hold of her. Thank you. Yes. Now we have Mr. Tony Magaro from the Institute, like Rachel would like to call it. It's Southwest Research Institute, and he is the VP for Human Resources. Mr. Magaro, please take it away. Thank you, Rachel.
Well, thank you very much. And Rachel does a great job in talking about our positions here at the Institute, particularly the student positions that are coming up. But obviously, we already have a whole series of openings for regular full-time positions as well. Jake, I believe you have my presentation. Are you going to be doing them as well? There you go. So Southwest Research Institute is an independent nonprofit R&D center. And by the time we get finished talking today, you'll see that it is one of the most unique organizations in the world in relation to the way we do business, and particularly the breadth of the technical programs that we touch. Those technical programs are done for clients across the world, both in the commercial world as well as the governmental world, and we work for governments across the world as well. So you'll see that the technical breadth of the Institute makes it really unique because we do have 11 different technical divisions. So we can move to the next slide. And as we talk about the Institute, we have to hone in on what is our mantra? What are we doing this for? Now, we're celebrating this year our 75th year. And in celebrating our 75th year, you might ask, well, why do you do this? Or why have you done this since 1947? And here it is. We benefit industry and the public at large through our innovative science and technology. And you're going to see this come to life, not just in the various programs that I'll try to talk about or the various divisions, but also you'll look at it in the core characteristics of what makes one successful. So Jack, I believe Jack was asking a question about characteristics, about performance, and how does it make a difference. I'll be going through that in one of the last slides. This is the Institute. You did already see this. This is a 1,500-acre campus. It used to be a cattle ranch in west side of San Antonio. When it was established, our founder actually bought the ranch and converted it into an R&D center with a $100,000 grant. Currently, we have a little over 2.5 million square feet of laboratory and offices across the campus. And if you ever travel San Antonio, and if you're heading to SeaWorld down Highway 151, you'll see a whole array of solar panels. That's 50 acres, a solar panel farm that we're actually working with City Public Service of San Antonio in developing energy, but actually progressing beyond just developing energy when the sun shines. And we're looking at cogeneration processes that will allow that energy to be produced, stored, and maintained over the 24-hour per day cycle, not just when the sun shines. But that's a snapshot of San Antonio, the west side of San Antonio. We're actually looking toward, if you're familiar with San Antonio, Loop 410, a loop that goes around the city. We can go to the next slide. This is our core values. And really what I'd like to do when we talk about these is take people and put them on the bottom, because that's our foundation. While the work that we have to do, the work that we do is filled with integrity because of the nature of the research and development activities and the work that one performs for a variety of clients. So integrity is key in the way we work. Innovation is essential. So when we solve problems, and that's probably, if somebody said, well, what do you really do? We said, well, we solve problems. A client comes to us, we pull together a group of employees, and those employees come up with solutions to those problems that are done in a very novel approach. We've been awarded R&D awards every year for the last 25 years in the United States. Our innovation is unparalleled and it really targets some key areas that that I'll try to talk about as I'm going through this presentation, some of which that Rachel already talked about. Stewardship is that we care for our community, we care for our environment, and we have not only activities in the outreach initiatives out into the various areas of our city and the underserved communities, but we also are concerned about the way the environment is treated, not just as an R&D facility here, but actually looking at environmental ways of cleaning up things like hazardous waste spills or even hazardous waste environments or storage facilities that are pocketed across the United States. And then finally, people. People are the product of the Institute because we serve our clients through our staff. So we continue to develop our staff at the same time. Our staff grow professionally by virtue of a continuing education program where we actually pay for continuing ed toward a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a PhD, an MBA, and we have all of those programs in the colleges that surround San Antonio. But we also take and develop our staff by virtue of the problems that they solve and the projects they actually work on. The breadth of the projects actually grow them professionally, and at the same time, the internal training program grows them professionally as well by virtue of them by the third year actually managing projects, actually interacting with clients, and actually even managing the people performing the project work itself. So project management is the hub, and we move staff through internal training, through outside education, and through the breadth of the programs that they work on in that growth way as a scientist, an engineer, or even a manager within the organization. We go to the next slide. So here we were in the 50s. We were established by Tom Slick was an oil man. He originally came from Oklahoma. He was a wildcatter, but he felt like man was best served by having research organizations that would actually solve these problems. And we were started post-World War II, so many of the technologies that came to play during World War II needed to be applied to the problems that we have in scientific areas. And that's why we were initiated. Our initial budget of $100,000 was actually fueling the work that we do in the oil and gas industry initially, and then it's blossomed since that point in time. You can see the revenue in 1958 continued to grow at $4.5 million, and then our population grew very quickly since 47 to 1958 with 437 employees. Can we move to the next slide? And here we are today. Today, we are a nonprofit, and the only thing the nonprofit, some people say, well, Tony, what exactly does a nonprofit? We're not a charitable organization as such, but we are an organization that takes all its revenue, all of its income, and pulls it back into the institution itself by virtue of its expanded facilities, maintaining with the technology advances, but also in maintaining the growth of our staff. So everything that we do as a nonprofit inures to the employees themselves and the growth of our staff. We currently have just over 2,800 regular employees on campus. Most of those are here in San Antonio. Of course, we have other remote sites. We have an additional 16 sites across the United States, the biggest of which is in Boulder, Colorado, and in Warner Robins, Georgia. Our patents, we have a unique patent policy. The rights to what we create or what we innovate belong mostly to our clients. Now, we do some of our own internal research or specialized research that we retain those rights. And one of those things is the autonomous vehicle that Rachel had talked about for some time. that autonomous vehicle was built through an internal research program where we funded our scientists and analysts in 5 different divisions to build our first autonomous vehicle over 10 years ago. And that, of course, has grown over those years, and even are entering into drone technology, robotics, and other fields that we serve in our clients. The R&D awards were the ones that I talked about previously, the R&D 100 awards, that were the most profound research and development established innovations that were categorized by scientists all over the world as being those elements that are going to change technology moving forward. We can go to the next slide. Here's our work sites. I talked about them already. We do have a small group in China, and we collaborate with an automotive design or an engine design group in the United Kingdom. Go to the next slide. This is, so we talked about being nonprofit. We garner revenue from the contracts that we have with, and I'll give you a snapshot of some of our clients. We do applied side, and applied side is a little bit different than what you might see in the colleges. The colleges are effectively looking at basic knowledge, establishing new knowledge. And on the other side of a spectrum that I'll show you shortly, you're seeing, okay, so I'm almost, you say, Jayshree, we got about 5 minutes left. So
yes, just to be able to answer any questions that people might have,
okay.
Mr. McGarr. So
can we go to the next slide here real quickly? This is what we're talking about, bridging the gap in the applied side research. Next slide. This is the organizational chart. Next slide. These are our R&D organization, our 11 divisions across the Institute, and our FFRDC and nuclear waste regulatory analyses. Our next slide. We have a highly educated workforce, and you can see in engineering, we have 39 different degrees that are represented, and over 600 universities today that are represented across all of our staff. Well, I'll tell you what, I go to the next slide. I wanted to get to one slide that shows you our composition. So you can see 75% of our staff are degreed. Next slide. That's our continued growth. So you can see the continued growth of an organization. Next slide. Here's this is the revenue distributed by funding source, and that's what I was trying to get at. You can see that the majority of our dollars right now are coming out of the federal government, and especially space sciences arena. And then, of course, we continue to grow our commercial side as well. This was affected tremendously by the pandemic, but the commercial is now getting closer to a 60-40 split, and pretty soon we'll be back to our balanced portfolio that looks more like 50% commercial and 50% government. With that, I'll entertain any kind of questions that you might have.
I believe there was one question. How do you evaluate performance for internships? That was asked earlier.
Good.
But
Can we move through this? Go to the next slides, Jay. Next one. Next one, that's internal research. Next one. These are the market segments. There they are. Okay. Our Walt Downing is the executive vice president and chief operating officer of the Institute. He says these are the characteristics that make people successful in an R&D environment that does applied side research. This is truly the same in any relationship you have with the Institute. You got to be a problem solver and enjoy that challenge. You have to be connected to your peers, but you have to be connected to your profession and dedicated to that profession. You cannot become obsolete in that profession, staying abreast of technology continuously. Your reward is not going to come externally. Your reward is solving a problem. That's intrinsic reward, striving for not just ethical standards, but your highest professional standards as well. Curiosity takes you a long way in solving problems, and always take the long-term view. I don't think I could have said this any better than Walt Downing did in what makes one successful at the Institute.
That is wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Magaro. Jake, if you could please pull up the LinkedIn Learning resource page that we've created on our website for people who are on the call. I just wanted to reiterate that my office has resources that are posted on our website for current students that may want to take advantage of internships from companies like the Southwest Research Institute. They did such a tremendous job of sharing how it is really designed well to make it a welcoming environment for our students, but also for their employees as well. But I just wanted to kind of share with you all. This can be found on our website. And okay, all right. So I think he's not able to share. I just got a message from him. All right, thank you so much. We're out of time, but I hope that everyone enjoyed listening to our colleagues from, our colleagues from Southwest Research Institute and our student leaders that spoke about their student organization as well. Please review this when time permits, because there were a lot of slides that Mr. Magaro had that had a tremendous amount of information, which he may not have gotten a chance to share the details about. But no worries, Mr. Magaro, this will be part of the video that we posted, and I'm sure our students will take advantage of it later. So with everything that you all have shared today, I just think that SwRI, located in San Antonio, which is just a hop away from the Valley region, provides tremendous opportunities for our students to really live and learn and learn from the best. And I really hope that our students will take advantage of these internship opportunities, and our recent graduates should consider applying for some of those jobs as well. For today's session, we're going to be ending it right now. Again, just want to take a moment to really applaud our Career Center colleagues who did a tremendous job of pulling these students together in such a short turnaround time and made this opportunity available. And I really hope that students will share this with their colleagues and their classmates, so that more students will hear about these type of opportunities that are available not too far from the Valley, since a lot of our students prefer to stay here. So thank you all. Have a wonderful day. It's been a pleasure talking to you on behalf of the Office of Professional Education and Workforce Development. And the website to visit us is utrgv.edu/PEWD, and take advantage of it. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.